0 o'clock intro. When the mind is restless, where is the way out? In today's modern world where work pressures, financial stress, social expectations, and personal uncertainties surround us, many people find their minds tangle like a knot with no clear thread to pull. Have you ever spent sleepless nights staring at the ceiling, your heart weighed down by invisible burdens, or found yourself in the middle of a crowd, yet felt a deep sense of loneliness? These are not random experiences. They are signs that anxiety is quietly weaving its way into your breath, your thoughts, and the moments of your life. Anxiety today is no longer just a fleeting emotional state. It has become something like a permanent resident in many people's minds, silent but persistent. From students to professionals, stay-at-home parents to retirees, no one is immune. It seeps into every corner of our consciousness, influencing decisions, behaviors, and even how we see ourselves. Many turn to modern solutions to ease this restlessness, from anti-anxiety medications and therapy to personal development courses and life coaching programs. These tools are not wrong. In fact, they can be extremely helpful in the short term. But here's something important to consider. Most modern approaches only address the symptoms. They don't often reach the deeper roots of anxiety that lie hidden within our consciousness. Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha, fully awakened human being, offered foundational insights into the nature of anxiety, the root of suffering, and the path to liberation. Buddhism does not treat anxiety as something to suppress or avoid. Instead, it teaches us to look directly at it, understand it deeply, and transform it through wisdom and mindfulness. What's remarkable is that the Buddha's teachings are not bound by religion. They don't require belief or faith. They are universal principles, psychological, ethical, and practical, that anyone in any era can apply to find inner peace. You may be wondering, can an ancient teaching like Buddhism really help in today's fast-paced world? The answer is, not only can it help, it may be more essential than ever. Because Buddhism doesn't send us searching outside for solutions. It invites us inward to the space where our thoughts live, where our breath flows, where our emotions rise and fall. And it's right there in your own awareness that true healing can begin. So ask yourself, when you feel anxious, what do you usually do? Do you try to stay busy just to forget? Do you look for reassurance from others, from plans, from predicting the future? You may agree that the more we try to control everything, the more exhausted we become, and the more anxiety grows. That's why, instead of running from anxiety or looking for external fixes, let's begin a deeper journey together, a journey inward, a journey of seeing and understanding anxiety through the wisdom of the Buddha. In this video, we'll explore understanding anxiety clearly. Its roots don't lie outside of us. Returning to the present, the place where anxiety cannot survive. The breath, a bridge between body and mind. Observing without attachment. The art of letting go. Compassion for yourself. The forgotten piece of inner healing. Conclusion. Anxiety is not the end of your story. Each section will not only offer insights, but also specific practices you can begin right away, because peace doesn't live in theory. It lives in your mindful, lived experience. Give yourself this chance to listen, to reflect, and to begin healing. 3:30 Returning to the present. Where anxiety cannot exist, In the search for peace amidst overwhelming anxiety, there's a profound truth that often gets overlooked. Anxiety cannot exist in the present moment. It only arises when we're caught in thoughts about the future things that haven't happened yet. Imagine scenarios filled with uncertainty. But the present, the moment happening right now, is the only place where the mind can settle, the body can find ease, and wisdom can emerge. In the teachings of the Buddha, returning to the present isn't just a technique, it's a deep transformation in how we view life. He once said, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." This statement carries deep meaning. If we keep postponing peace for some ideal future moment, we will never arrive. The future never truly comes, it only exists as an idea in the mind. 1. Why is the present so important? Observe yourself when you feel anxious. Where is your mind? Are you thinking about an upcoming meeting, an unpaid bill, a difficult conversation that hasn't even happened yet, or a worst-case scenario you're afraid of? What you're experiencing isn't something actually happening, it's the result of a chain of thoughts born from imagination. No matter how logical those thoughts may seem, they are still illusions because the future hasn't arrived, and the past is already gone. The Buddha taught, dwell with the body in the body, with the mind in the mind, meaning live with what is actually happening, not with what you think might happen or what has already passed. 2. Coming back to the present through attention. Returning to the present isn't something mystical or difficult. You don't need to retreat to the forest or abandon your daily life. You can start right now where you are by paying attention to what's actually happening in your body and mind. Try this. Feel the solace of your feet touching the floor. Listen to the birds singing outside your window. Notice the air flowing in and out of your nostrils. Observe the sensation of your hands resting together. This isn't about escaping anxiety, it's about bringing the light of mindfulness into the darkness of unconsciousness, where anxiety hides. When you fully live in the present, you'll realize anxiety has no ground to stand on. It needs time, the past or future, to survive. But in the fullness of the now, it fades like morning mist in sunlight. 3. Practicing meditation in everyday life. Meditation doesn't always mean sitting cross-legged in silence. Every moment of your day can be a meditation if you are fully present. This is the essence of mindfulness practice, a core teaching in Buddhism. Here are some everyday mindfulness practices. Mindful dishwashing. Instead of thinking about your to-do list or unread messages, feel the warm water on your hands, hear the clinking of dishes, smell the soap. Mindful eating. Taste each bite, chew slowly. Appreciate the presence of food and the people who made it possible. Mindful walking. Walk slowly, feel each step, each movement of your foot meeting the ground as a small miracle. Every action becomes sacred when you are truly present, and in that state anxiety cannot intrude. 4. The story of the meditation master and the glass cup. Meditation teacher Ajahn Chah once held up a glass and said to his students, "I see this glass is already broken." Everyone was surprised the glass was still intact. He explained, "I see it as already broken because its nature is fragile. One day it will fall, crack, or shatter. Knowing that, I cherish it in every moment it is still here." This isn't a pessimistic view, it's a wake-up call. When we realize the impermanence of everything, we stop living in fear and start living fully in each present moment. And when we live deeply like that, anxiety loses its power over us. 5. Don't run away, just come back. Many people hear the phrase return to the present and think it's a way to avoid responsibilities or real problems. But in truth, it's the only way to face life challenges with clear eyes. When your mind isn't pulled into the past or future, you gain the clarity to respond wisely in the now. Mindfulness doesn't make you passive. In fact, it helps you become more proactive in a calm and intelligent way, free from emotional reactivity. Returning to the present isn't a vague philosophical idea, it's a concrete, practical path to transform anxiety at its roots. Every moment you're fully present is a healing medicine. There's no need to run anywhere, no need to search for a special secret, because everything you need is already here within you right now. 6:20 Breath, the bridge between body and mind. In all Buddhist teachings, especially within the Vipassana and Satipatthana for foundations of mindfulness traditions, the breath is regarded as the starting point of the journey toward awakening. Breath is not merely a biological function, it is the sacred bridge connecting our physical body with the depth of our consciousness. When the mind is restless, when anxiety overwhelms us, the Buddha doesn't ask us to escape or suppress emotions. Instead, he teaches us to return to the breath, for it is there that we find the doorway to true peace. 1. Breath is pure presence. Breath does not belong to the past or the future, it only happens in the now. Each time you bring awareness to your breath, its rhythm, its depth, you are anchoring your attention in the present moment. And as we discussed earlier, the present is the only place where anxiety cannot survive. You don't need any special tools or words. You can practice mindful breathing anytime, anywhere. When anxiety arises, just sit still, close your eyes gently and observe. This is an in-breath. This is an out-breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. This simple act helps bring your system back into balance. Your racing thoughts and turbulent emotions will gradually settle like a stirred lake, returning to stillness. 2. The biology behind breath and anxiety. When the body is anxious, the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, is activated. Your heart races, breathing quickens, blood pressure rises, and your thoughts spiral into fear and worrying. But when you slow down your breath softly, consciously, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the body's natural relaxation mode, the rest and digest response. With nothing but your breath, you flip the switch from tension to calm. This isn't just spiritual insight, modern science supports it. Research shows that mindful breathing reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, calms the amygdala, the brain's fear center, and boosts focus and emotional regulation. 3. A simple practice for mindful breathing. You don't have to be a meditation master. Here's a simple breathing meditation you can practice every day. Even just 5 to 10 minutes can make a difference. Step 1. Find a comfortable posture. Sit somewhere quiet on a chair or the floor. Keep your back upright, but not stiff. Let your hands rest gently on your lap. You may close your eyes or keep them slightly open. Step 2. Become aware of the breath. Bring your full attention to your breathing. Don't try to control it. Just notice the natural in-breath and out-breath. If it helps, place a hand on your belly to feel the rise and fall. Step 3. Label and follow. As you breathe in, mentally say, in, I know I'm breathing in. As you breathe out, out. I know I'm breathing out. Stay gentle, stay present. Step 4. Handle distractions gently. Thoughts will come, that's okay. Notice them, a thought, and gently return to the breath. Every return is a moment of mindfulness training. Step 5. End with awareness. After a few minutes, gently open your eyes. Notice how you feel, maybe lighter, calmer, or just a bit more grounded. 4. Mindful breathing in a busy life. You don't need hours of sitting meditation. Life offers plenty of brief moments to return to your breath. Waiting for the elevator, breathe instead of scrolling. About to walk into a meeting, take one conscious breath. Feeling your mind getting tangled, pause for 1 minute, just breathe. Each of these moments is a nervous system reset, a way to bring your mind home and soothe the waves of anxiety. 5. A story of the master and the anxious disciple. One day, a young disciple came to his meditation teacher, distressed. Master, my mind is always in turmoil. I can't sleep. I worry about everything, the future, my parents, money, life. The teacher didn't speak. He simply smiled and handed the disciple a full glass of water. Hold this glass, he said, but don't let it fall. The disciple held it. At first, it was easy, but minutes passed, and his arm began to ache. After 10 minutes, it trembled. After an hour, he cried out, Master, I can't hold it any longer. The teacher said, anxiety is like this glass. If you keep holding on, it will hurt, but if you learn to set it down and return to your breath, you will find relief. The lesson: breath is the act of putting the glass down. Each mindful breath is not an escape, it's a compassionate pause, a return, a release. Conclusion of this section. Your breath is a precious gift given to you from the very moment you were born. It's always here, always loyal, always guiding you back home to yourself. When your mind is swept away by anxiety, you don't need to go anywhere, just stop and breathe. The breath is the golden thread weaving the fabric of mindfulness. Each mindful breath is a step on the path to peace. 10. 15. Observing without attachment. The art of letting go. In the Buddhist teachings, one of the fundamental causes of suffering is attachment, in Sanskrit, abandonment, meaning clinging or grasping. Anxiety, if we look deeply, is not just fear or insecurity. It's the result of a chain of subtle attachments. Attachment to a certain outcome in the future, attachment to self-image, attachment to others' expectations, attachment to perfection, attachment to what we think should happen. Therefore, to truly dissolve anxiety, the Buddha didn't teach us to worry less or to think positively. He taught us to let go. But letting go doesn't mean giving up responsibility or living carelessly. It means letting go of attachment, living in the world, fulfilling your duties, but without being entangled in outcomes and without being swept away by the storm of emotions. 1. Observe emotions like clouds in the sky. Think of emotions like the weather. It may be sunny today, rainy tomorrow, stormy in the afternoon, or calm at night. But above all that, the vast sky always remains. Your mind is the same. When anxiety arises, sit quietly and try this. Take a deep breath in, and to exhale gently, acknowledge the emotion that is present. Don't try to push it away. Label it with awareness. This is anxiety. This is fear about the future. Then just sit and observe. No reaction, no conclusion, no judgment. Something magical happens when you see emotions as passing phenomena. I am anxious, but there is anxiety passing through. This creates a powerful shift. You separate yourself from the emotion. You're no longer caught in it. You become the observer, and that is freedom. 2. Story. The cracked glass and the lesson of letting go. A Zen master once told a story that awakened many people. I always drink from a beautiful glass. Every day I use it with gratitude, but I always remind myself, this glass is already broken. What does that mean? It hasn't broken yet, but one day it will, because it is impermanent. When that happens, I won't be sad, shocked, or angry. I'll just smile and pick up the pieces. Anxiety arises when we forget impermanence, when we want everything to stay exactly how we expect. A stable job, healthy loved ones, smooth plans. But reality doesn't work that way. The Buddha never said everything will be okay. He said everything will change. When you understand that, you no longer fear change. You accept it as a natural part of life. And anxiety at its core, a fear of the unknown, gradually fades. 3. Letting go of control does not equal being powerless. A common misconception is that if you don't control everything, you become weak or passive. But in truth, letting go of control is one of the highest forms of wisdom and inner strength. When you let go, you're telling the universe, I will do my best and accept whatever comes. I trust the journey, even if I don't fully understand it. This frees you from the pressure to always win, succeed, or be perfect. You act with more lightness, and you live with more depth. 4. Practicing letting go in real-life situations. Situation 1. Facing a big decision. When you're anxious about choosing a path, changing jobs, investing, studying, do your best to research and reflect. But once you've decided, let go of the fear of consequences. No decision is perfect. The only thing you can control is your attitude after making it. Situation 2. When others don't act as you wish. Much of our anxiety comes from expectations of others. We want them to understand us, love us in the right way, never betray us. But the Buddha taught, each person has their own karma, their own journey. They do not exist to fulfill your hopes. You can only adjust your reactions, you cannot control them. Situation 3. When you make a mistake or fail, when you slip up, don't attach to the idea, I'm a failure. A failure is just an event. It doesn't define who you are. Letting go here means dropping the stories you tell yourself. I'm useless. I don't deserve happiness. Learn the lesson, grow from it, and move forward. 5. A meditation practice. Reflecting on letting go. Sit quietly and try this reflection. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine you're holding something heavy in your hands, a stone. It represents your worries. Feel the weight of holding it for too long. Then slowly in your mind, drop it to the ground. Feel the lightness. Does your breath feel easier? Gently affirm to yourself, I allow myself to let go. I don't need to control everything to feel safe. Conclusion. Letting go is not giving up, it's wisdom. It's seeing the limits of control and choosing to live mindfully through all circumstances. Anxiety is the bell that tells you you've been holding on too tightly. Let go, and you'll find the door to freedom opens. 1340 Self-compassion. The forgotten peace. On the path of spiritual practice, and healing in the Buddhist teachings. One essential but often overlooked element is compassion for ourselves. When people hear the word compassion, they often think only of kindness toward others, helping, caring, being good to society. But in Buddhism, compassion doesn't just go outward, it must start from within. It's difficult to bring peace to the world if our own hearts are filled with self-blame, harshness, and inner criticism. And it's hard to ease anxiety if, deep down, we still see ourselves as broken, weak, or not okay. The root of self-blame. Think back. Whenever your anxiety lingers, what usually comes right after it? Is it something like, why am I like this? I'm so useless for letting my mind get so overwhelmed. Others have moved on, why am I still stuck? I need to be stronger, I can't be this weak. Modern minds often fall into a spiral of inner judgment. Anxiety isn't just fear anymore, it becomes a reason to punish ourselves with harsh self-talk. This goes completely against the spirit of the Dharma. In the Karaniya Metta Sutta, the loving-kindness discourse, the Buddha taught, love yourself the way a mother loves her only child, no matter the circumstances. Imagine a close friend coming to you and saying, I'm exhausted. I feel like I can't keep going. Would you criticize them? Or would you hold them gently and say, it's okay, you're doing the best you can? If you're willing to offer that kindness to someone else, why not offer it to yourself too? Self-compassion isn't weakness. Many people mistake self-compassion for self-indulgence, weakness, or lack of discipline. But in reality, compassion is one of the greatest strengths because it allows us to rise again after falling, without being drowned in shame or self-hate. In Buddhism, compassion is not a soft emotion, it's the wisdom that everyone deserves healing, including you. You don't need to be perfect to deserve love. You don't need to fix all your anxiety to be allowed peace. You only need to accept yourself as you are right in this moment. 3. A practice. Sending loving kindness to yourself. Try this Metta-bhavana loving kindness meditation practice. Sit quietly in a comfortable posture. Close your eyes, breathe in, and feel healing energy entering your body. Breathe out, and let go of tension. Silently repeat the following phrases in your mind. I accept myself, including the parts that are hurting. I allow myself to be at peace, even if I'm not perfect. I am worthy of love. I am on a path of awakening, and I am doing my best. If critical thoughts arise, just gently notice them. Oh, I'm blaming myself again. Then return to the breath and continue your phrases of kindness. With daily practice, you will begin to feel a shift in your energy and in how you treat yourself. 4. A story. The Buddha and the Wounded Man. During a Dharma talk, a man once said to the Buddha, Master, I've made many mistakes. I don't deserve peace. I constantly feel guilty and afraid. The Buddha smiled and replied, when someone is struck by an arrow, the first step is not to blame themselves for walking the wrong path. It's to remove the arrow and care for the wound. Guilt heals no one. Awareness and compassion are the true medicine. We all carry arrows, wounds from the past, regrets, failures. But instead of shaming ourselves for being hurt, we can choose to tend to those wounds with love. 5. Subtle signs of self-neglect. You might think, I don't hate myself, I'm not hurting myself. But lack of self-compassion doesn't always come in loud words, it shows up in small behaviors. Overworking, and never letting yourself rest. Saying yes when you're exhausted and want to say no. Constantly comparing yourself and feeling inadequate. Pushing yourself to do better with harsh pressure instead of gentle encouragement. Each time this happens, pause and ask, if this were my best friend, how would I treat them? Practice treating yourself as your dearest companion, someone you'd always listen to, forgive, and love unconditionally. 6. When self-compassion reaches others, when you love yourself with compassion, something beautiful happens. You naturally open your heart to others. You become less judgmental, less harsh, less envious because you've stopped doing those things to yourself. Compassion is energy that radiates. The more you practice it inside, the more healing energy you bring to the world. A person who loves themselves doesn't carry anger into the streets. A person who understands their own pain can empathize with the pain of others. Conclusion of this section. Self-compassion is not just medicine for anxiety, it's the foundation of a wise and awakened life. You can't pour from an empty cup. Before loving the world, fill yourself with true love first. 5:30 p.m. Conclusion. Anxiety is not the end. You might be listening to these words in a quiet evening, after a long day filled with stress and fatigue. Perhaps you're sitting alone, holding fears inside you that you don't know how to share. And maybe, at some point, you've asked yourself, will I ever be free from anxiety? Is there a path for someone like me? If you've ever asked such a question, please know this: you are not alone. And more importantly, anxiety is not the end. 1. Anxiety, the uninvited visitor. First, let's sincerely acknowledge this. Anxiety is not the enemy. It is not wrong, evil, or something that must be eliminated. From a Buddhist perspective, every emotion arises from conditions. When the conditions are present, emotions arise. When they're gone, emotions cease. Anxiety is no different. It doesn't come to torment us, but rather to tell us something. It's like a bell that rings to remind us, maybe we're overwhelmed. Maybe we're heading in the wrong direction. Maybe we've forgotten ourselves for too long. If you learn to listen to your anxiety instead of pushing it away, you'll start to see the light behind the darkness too. No one is immune to unease. Even spiritual masters and enlightened beings have experienced suffering. Before becoming the Buddha, Prince Siddhartha himself was deeply troubled by the realities of sickness, aging, and death. It was precisely because of that suffering that he was determined to find a path to liberation. You don't need to be perfect, free of all anxiety and insecurity to find peace. True peace doesn't come from eliminating discomfort, but from having the wisdom to see its true nature. 3. The light of the Noble Eightfold Path. Throughout this video, we've explored various teachings of the Buddha. All of them converge into a single path, the Noble Eightfold Path, the Eightfold Way that leads to freedom. If we were to summarize the journey of transforming anxiety through the Buddha's wisdom, it rests on 3 foundational pillars: ethical conduct, skla, living virtuously, reducing unwholesome karma, building a solid base for calm, mental concentration, samadhi, training the mind through meditation, living mindfully in each moment, wisdom pan, observing impermanence, knowing self, and non-attachment. To truly understand suffering and be free from it, the light of the Eightfold Path doesn't magically erase anxiety, but it opens a way through the forest of confusion. It helps you stop being led by your emotions and instead begin to master your own mind. For the path of mindfulness takes time and patience. Don't expect that after a few minutes of meditation, your anxiety will vanish tomorrow. And don't be harsh on yourself if you fall back into old patterns, negative reactions, or anxious thoughts. The path of awakening is not a straight line. It's a spiral. There will be ups and downs. Some days you'll feel radiant peace. Other days you might feel pulled back into the dark. The important thing is, don't give up, because every time you return to your breath, every time you choose mindfulness over reactivity, every time you treat yourself with more gentleness, you are taking another step toward inner freedom. 5. Meditation is not escape. It is seeing clearly. Some people think meditation is to forget anxiety or to withdraw from life, but the Buddha didn't teach escape. He taught us to face things with mindfulness. Meditation is not just sitting there waiting for anxiety to go away. It's sitting there to see its true nature. Only when you stop being swept away by emotional waves can you realize your mind is naturally still. Like a calm lake, emotions are just passing winds. A drop of water doesn't make the whole lake dirty forever. One anxious moment doesn't take away your true worth. 6. You are not alone on this journey. Finally, remember that there are many others, just like you, walking this path of mindfulness, learning to live slower, deeper, and more peacefully. You don't have to be a monk. Don't have to leave the world behind. Don't need to meditate in the mountains. You just need to practice in the small things of daily life when you drink water and truly know you are drinking. That is mindfulness. When you walk and feel each footstep touch the earth, that is peace. When someone says something hurtful and you choose not to react immediately, but breathe in, breathe out, that is wisdom. Final message of the video. If you've stayed with us until the end of this video, it means your heart is ready for transformation. No one can heal you better than yourself. Guided by the wisdom of the Buddha, and if, along the way, you need a place to return to, a space of reminder, encouragement, and companionship, our channel is always open to welcome you. Subscribe if these words resonate with your heart. Share this video with someone who may need it, because one awakened sentence can transform an entire life. And above all, keep practicing day by day. Drop by drop, the jar fills. Small mindful acts create a peaceful life. May you, wherever you are and whatever you're going through, always keep the light of awareness glowing in your heart. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.